Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and today I'm joined by Derek.
Hello.
We're back for some more Sunset Beach coverage. Today, we're going to be discussing episodes 197 to 203. So let's get right into it. I'll roll the credits. Okay. So I'm sad that Kansas is pretty much done. I totally forgot where we left off. Everywhere that we picked up, I was like, oh yeah. So I forgot that Meg came back to Sunset Beach.
Yep.
I guess she's decided to just let it go. Her and Ben are gonna try it, take it
Right.
slow. Ben is smiling, which feels unnatural. It makes me feel uneasy. Yeah, and she's gonna try and get the job that she originally interviewed for with Gregory. What was the name of the company? Liberty
Corporation.
Is like
Liberty
a
Corporation.
Okay. I guess this is the corporation that the radio station's under, or the newspaper, maybe?
Probably, maybe.
Okay. So she ends up talking to Gregory, and she ends up getting the job. So she's going to be running into Ben because he goes there for a lot of meetings with Gregory. Annie, when they kept saying that they had this like shareholder that was coming, I knew it was Annie.
Yeah.
Just because they were being so vague about it. I'm like, we haven't seen Annie in like a couple episodes. It's definitely going to be her. And it was. Yeah. Which, okay. When Annie called Meg Maria,
I
was like, oh, she's gonna kick your ass. That's such a trigger for Meg.
Oh yeah.
She was like, what? Oh, it was so good. So apparently Annie was left these shareholder stocks from her father in his will, and we're just finding out about this 10 months later. She thinks she has like 50%. She doesn't. So now it's almost like she wants to like take over the company.
Well, she's trying to get Tim's shares now, so she can have majority.
Okay, but like, what are Tim's shares? Like, Tim's not rich. So like, it would be like us having stock in like a corporation like Amazon or Walmart. Like, what is she gonna do with these shares? Anyway, but so she gets paid a visit by her uncle, which I guess is her uncle through marriage, who's played by Jim Storm. Do you know who that is? Oh my god! I was like, oh my god, Bill Spencer.
Yes.
I did some reading on him way back. I don't remember what soap it was, but apparently he was on some soap for a while. It may have been One Life to Live. I'm not sure.
He was the original Larry. He's Larry's Michael Storm's brother.
Oh, so that's what I was gonna say. When he left the role, his brother took over, or vice versa. I'm not really sure.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
they're not twins, but they look alike.
Yes.
So I thought that was fun. But yeah, I was not expecting to see him. So if you go to the Wikipedia page, it lists like major guest stars, but it won't tell you like soap stars. So it's been fun to see like other soap stars.
We're gonna see another one in a couple weeks, so that'll be fun. I just thought
it was like, oh my god.
I just thought when watching, oh yeah, that person's coming up.
So his name is Charles, and Bet shows up. So apparently this is Bet's third ex-husband. And she calls him Charlie, and he's like, my name's not Charlie, it's not Chucky, it's not Chuck.
Right.
And then she's like, hey, Poopsie. She's like, Poopsie.
That's all about her nicknames. Like, I mean, you can't do that to her.
Yeah. So apparently there's some codicil in the will where she doesn't really have control of these stock options. Did it say why? It didn't say why, right?
Terms, but they didn't reveal what the terms were yet.
What these terms were, and I'm feeling like it's probably going to be a marriage.
I know exactly what it is. Why do you think she's in Gregory's orbit now?
I did notice that, but I'm also, unless things happen really quickly, because I'm like, okay, Gregory and Olivia are still married, so her and Gregory can't be married, or could they? And then I'm like, is she gonna marry Tim for his measly little shares? So like my mind is just
No,
like
she
all
can't
over the
marry
place.
him. Very specific who like what she has to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it would serve Dell very well as well. Her father.
Really?
Yeah.
So there must have been like a handful of scenes where Annie basically said that if he wasn't dead, she would shoot him right now and kill him
Yeah.
because of all his little strings.
Mhm.
um so I guess we can talk about Vanessa, Virginia, Michael. Totally forgot about the cabin fire. Totally. I was like, oh shit, yes.
Yeah.
So Virginia couldn't get the window all the way open, took a stick, knocked a candle over, set a fire. And I was like, okay, they're not going to smell the smoke probably because the fireplace is lit. So they'll probably like, oh, it's the fireplace, which is what happened.
Mhm.
I think Virginia cut the power.
Yeah, she did.
So Michael went to go try and work that out while it got smokier in the cabin.
Mhm.
Um, when Vanessa ran to the room and opened the door and saw the flames, I was like, that doorknob would have been hot. She
Mhm.
didn't, and she just like grabbed it and opened.
Right.
Okay, I'll let that logic go.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So this is like Casey's friend's house, or
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, he
that
used
he
to
was
farm
supposed to be
corn.
watching.
Mhm.
hmm And this guy had no home insurance at all.
Yeah, right.
That doesn't feel responsible.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
um, so yeah, at first they make it seem like it's like gone, but then like later on they make it seem like, oh, it was just like that one room and it could be repaired or whatever.
Yeah.
But even if Vanessa's like, my insurance won't cover it, why would your insurance cover somebody else's house for
Yeah,
fire?
it wouldn't. That doesn't make any sense.
Because you were the one that started it, supposedly.
Yeah, insurance is insurance. It's for
Yeah.
one person for their property.
And Virginia gets away with all this because she went to go visit, I can't remember her name, Mrs.
Selena Jones, yeah.
Jones, who's
Mhm.
an older woman that was like her neighbor that Vanessa keeps talking to try and get dirt on Virginia.
Mhm.
She like drugged her pretty much, so she fell asleep. She
Yeah.
took the old lady's car, and that's how she got to the cabin. She goes
Mhm.
all the way back to the lady's house, literally sits down, opens a magazine, and the lady wakes up. So she's there for like not even a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's like, "Oh, have you been here all night?" She's like, "All night, just been
Mhm.
watching you sleep."
Yep.
And then she's like, "I really gotta get going." So she literally there was like a minute or two that she was just sitting there. I'm liking this turn for Virginia.
Mhm.
I like want to know more about this actress. I want to know if she's done things because she should be doing all the things since
I don't
1997.
I think she did a couple things, but nothing. I don't think she acts anymore, but it's just a shame. She's
That's a
really
shame. She's really talented.
good. Mhm.
She would have been great on any other soap or
Mhm.
even in prime time.
Yeah.
Um, so of course, Vanessa's mind goes to maybe Virginia was involved in this, and I'm like, that's a really huge leap. Just because
Mhm.
something bad happened when you were trying
She
to.
always thinks the worst of her.
She goes so far because Virginia gives her alibi that she was with Miss Jones all night. So she
Mhm.
even goes as far as to go visit Miss Jones to confirm this. And then Virginia calls and she's like, "Oh, I think I left my magazine there." And she's like,
Mhm.
"Could you bring it back for me?"
Yeah, I was reading a really great article.
Yeah. So like her story is checking out. So good for her.
Mhm.
um I liked when they first arrived back at Surf Central, how she like sat and like listened to them talk about it with Casey, and then she was like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad you guys are all right." And she like hugged Vanessa, and Vanessa was like, "Bitch, why you hugging me?"
That was so funny.
um so yeah, that was pretty much it for them. Virginia's still making little digs, like, "Oh, is your little article done?" And she's like, "Actually, it's," Vanessa's like, "Actually, it's gonna be a series on South Central. I want to make sure that I give the proper attention." She's like,
Right.
"Mm."
But Vanessa also got a tip about, because Virginia got pulled over that night, and she got a tip about the car being pulled over that night.
Oh, that's right. She got pulled over on her way back.
Yeah. Mhm.
She had a tail light out.
So she might figure it out. But she doesn't know that it was Virginia, and they couldn't ID they don't have an identification on the person, even though they could easily do that.
Right. So Virginia breaks into Vanessa's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
She like finds the spare key, and then like outside the apartment, and then while she's like snooping around, she finds another key, and she's like, "Oh, she just made it easier for me," and she takes the key. What is she looking for?
I think she's looking for dirt on Vanessa.
Oh, well, she finds a picture of Vanessa and who she assumes is her mother, so I guess that's her mother. But it looks like it's just like Vanessa dressed up to look like older with a
With the
child.
child, yeah. It basically is.
So yeah, I don't know what that's about, but she'll be back, I guess.
Yeah.
I laughed because when she was hiding and Michael had to leave, Vanessa went in the shower and she was like taking another cold shower. Virginia, Vanessa.
Yeah. That was so funny. I love her.
Oh my god, every episode is so good. Like it's like you don't want to stop.
That's
But once you're in
exactly.
it,
That's
you're
what
just
I'm
like,
saying.
stop. I know I have to, but I can't. So yeah, that was pretty much it for them. That was a little more excitement. They really haven't had that much to do.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin is still not trusting Cole. She finds a key to the safety deposit box,
Mm-hmm.
and she finds the jewels that he took when he was in, where was he, Morocco or something? I don't, where he went on, like overseas
Yeah.
or something. Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a scene with Eddie where they were talking, and it sounded like Gregory was like disappointed in Cole because he was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the scene, you saw that Gregory saw her shadow walking up the stairs. Did he clock her standing there before that? And that's why he started speaking like that?
I believe so, yeah.
Because I didn't catch that part.
Mm-hmm. He definitely did. He
Yeah.
knew she was there. Well, he also arranged for Rose to call her down, so that's another reason why he knew she was coming.
Oh, okay. Because before he even made like the facial expression that he did notice that she may have been there, I was like, oh, I could see her shadow. And I'm like, he definitely saw that.
Because I think Rose said, "Can you take Spike for a walk?" And I think she called her, and then she was on her way down.
Yeah. So Sean is still like hating on Cole. He doesn't want Cole to hurt his sister. But then, and Gregory is like all proud of him for being like, you know, in on like the family plan, even though he doesn't know the extent of the family plan.
Yeah.
He just knows that he needs to keep Cole away from Caitlin. He goes snooping through Gregory's files and he finds one on Tiffany, and he finds like a carbon copy of the check that she was paid.
Yeah.
And it was like his mother's check, so he realizes that Olivia lied to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so now he's all like, oh shit, he's like, Cole's telling the truth. I gotta like save Caitlin and Cole.
Yeah. He switched really quick.
Yeah, I like this turn.
Yeah.
It was fun. So Caitlin confronts Cole about the jewels and everything, and he tries to explain, and she doesn't want to hear it, and she just thinks that all he does is lie to her, and she's just going to be like another one of his girls that gets left behind. And he somehow thinks that he's convinced her to maybe let it go and move forward together, so she lets him think that. But she goes home and she's like ready to go to the clinic with her mother without telling Cole.
Yeah.
Which Cole has no idea about. He calls Olivia and says that he's willing to take the $200,000 that she originally offered for him and Caitlin to get out of town, which Olivia's all cool with. She's like, yeah, no, take my daughter, go. I still don't understand why it has to be a secret from Gregory that Caitlin's pregnant. He knows, but they don't know that he knows. But like, why does it have to be a secret?
Yeah. I guess so that she doesn't suspect that he took the baby, because then he would be like, "No, I had no idea you were pregnant. Why would I take the baby if that ever we're in that situation?"
Yeah, but on like Caitlin and Cole's side, why are they keeping the secret? They're like engaged, so to speak.
Yeah.
Why are you keeping this?
Well, I think it's because of the miscarriage that Olivia had, and afraid to tell anybody because she doesn't want to lose the baby or whatever. But she's not even showing yet. Like,
She's not even showing, and everybody knows, but to
yeah,
her knowledge, Gregory, like her brother
right.
knows, Bet knows, Olivia
Hmm.
knows, like everybody
Yeah,
knows except
mhm,
Gregory,
true.
but he does.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's kind of a weird plot point, but
Hmm.
um, when how does Cole find out? Does Sean call him? No.
Find out what?
Find out that Caitlin and Olivia are leaving town. Bet. Is it through
Bet
Bet?
tells them. Bet
Bet.
tells them. Yeah.
So he goes rushing over to the Richards house and he's like banging on the door. The whole family's there, like looking terrified. And
Hmm.
Caitlin's a quick thinker. She's like, "We'll go through the garage." I'm like,
Hmm.
"This bitch is thrifty." I just don't understand why she's so mad about him stealing jewels. Like, there was a time where you were like down to like be his sidekick. Like, you wanted to like rob people also.
Yeah. Well, she also went to that safe deposit box and like stole the key and found all his jewels. And she,
Yeah, you're just as sneaky. Like, this is your
yeah.
soulmate.
They went on that treasure hunt like a couple of weeks, not maybe a month or so ago, and I'm
Yeah. And she was all excited. She loved the
yeah,
thrill. She wanted to be a sidekick.
yeah,
Like be like Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
mhm,
Um, yeah, so they end up getting away, Caitlin and Olivia. Um, Caitlin's kind of preoccupied just thinking about Cole, and Olivia's just like, "Oh, we'll take a road trip. We'll take our time. We'll take in the scenery. We'll stop in Santa Barbara."
mhm,
um, and Olivia starts to have pains, but it's just the baby kicking.
mhm,
Um, when Gregory was by the in the nursery and he was by the crib and he was like remembering Caitlin as a baby, that baby was so cute.
mhm,
And also I was thinking that baby's 28 years old now.
probably,
Or 29 around there.
mhm,
But yeah, she was very cute. Um, so now Sean and Cole are working together
mhm,
and they're like tapping all of the phones in the Richards house.
mhm.
The way that Cole comes and goes from this house is like unrealistic and crazy. Because
Yeah,
one
and
minute
I'm
he's
like,
in his room next to at the mansion, then he's back in his room, and then he's at Bet's, and then
when
he's
he was banging on the door, I'm like, why doesn't he just sneak through the window like he always does?
right.
Like,
Even when he was fighting with Caitlin and she opened the door for him to leave, he just went out the window. Like,
yeah, I know.
he's like, "No, I'll just go the way I came." Like,
Mhm,
um, so while they're like tapping all the phones, Sean hears the phone ring and he starts to listen. And he hears the plan that Olivia and Gregory wants to steal Caitlin's baby. So he's like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." What are we- so he tells Cole.
he doesn't tell Cole.
He doesn't tell Cole?
No, Cole doesn't know.
He told somebody.
He's trying to get a hold of Caitlin at the hotel. He's
Oh, he
trying
told Caitlin. That's who he told.
yeah.
Okay,
Mhm,
yeah.
yeah. Cole still
Um,
doesn't know.
yeah, he's trying to get a hold of Caitlin. Olivia was on the phone with Bet,
Yes, because she's trying to get Cole there so she can put a stop to Gregory's plan.
and Cole just like walks in because he's everywhere all at once.
Mhm. He is.
um, and then Sean finally gets a hold of Caitlin. And
Mhm.
he's able to blurt out that that mom and dad want to take your baby.
Mhm.
So I looked at the date and it's October 30th. I'm like, we're going into sweeps. That's why all this is happening right now.
Mhm. Yeah.
Everything's about to get really crazy.
Mhm.
um, am I missing anything with that storyline that was important?
Um, I don't think so. I just it was just the whole thing of Cole was just making me mad a little bit just because he's like way was coming going out of the house. I'm like, well, Cole, why don't you just use the window? Like, what are you doing? Like, he couldn't get in the house and he's like banging on the door. I'm like, Cole, you have other ways to get in the house. Like, what
Yeah,
are you doing? Oh, the fight between Cole and Gregory, they had like a fist match.
they did.
Yeah.
And after the fact that they were both like pretty much like you should see the other guy. Like they both thought that they won. Like
They did.
they're
But
like,
it
no,
was
I
so
fucked
funny,
him
their
up
makeup match, I noticed, like, they both have the little cut on their lip and, like, they had the little
on
cut
the
on their nose
eyebrow.
and their eyebrow, yeah, so I was like, "Oh, they're makeup matches, that's so cute." That was really funny.
Yeah, Cole swung the first punch and
Mhm,
got Gregory to the ground. And then
mhm.
Gregory was like, "Oh, you want to fight?" Started rolling up his sleeves.
Oh, yeah, he was ready to go. It was fun, it was good.
It was funny because they cut back to them fighting, and like the first scene was like basically Cole like crashing down like across the room, like he got thrown across the room.
Yes.
And that's when they showed that he broke the picture of Olivia and Caitlin.
Yeah, and then Annie found Gregory afterward, and she's like, "I'll get you some ice."
Oh, so yeah, so Sean brought Cole ice at his apartment. I'm like, you
Yeah,
went all the way across town with ice that probably would have melted by the time you got there. It's Sunset Beach. It's hot as hell.
it's hot as hell. What are you doing? That makes sense, unless he got it at the hotel, but I don't know.
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me, but all right.
Right.
um, yeah, that was fun.
Mhm,
So Gabby has agreed to take a lie detector test
mhm,
because Gregory had gave her the advice that if she takes this, it
mhm,
may be inconclusive, which then the charges would be dropped. So she thinks great because she just wants this to be over. She doesn't
mhm.
want to have to keep lying.
Yeah,
She
she
just
keeps
wants
saying, "Why did I lie and say he raped me? Why did she keep saying that?"
right. So she thinks great. I'll do this. Fine. So then, because with lie detector tests, you're just supposed to give like yes or no answers.
Mhm,
She ends up passing because she's not lying.
mhm,
Um, she actually gets really upset and agitated towards the end. She's like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to like
mhm,
talk about this, whatever.
mhm.
Um, and
We also had that little flashback that indicates that something happened when she was when the guy was asking her questions. She had like this little flashback that triggered her, and she was like starting screaming and like, "Yeah, I trusted him.
uh,
Yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay."
yeah, but like one of the questions was like, did he initiate the first kiss or something like that? And then they like flash back to her and Ricardo, and
Mhm.
he like ate her face, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I was like, she's not lying.
No, she's not.
So, yeah, Ricardo's sure that the test is also gonna clear him, but it doesn't.
Mhm.
So here we
Gabby's a
are.
narcissist. She can lie with a lie detector.
And then we have Mark, who she kind of accuses of possibly thinking that she's lying. And I'm like,
Mhm.
how can you mad at somebody for accusing you of lying, even though he really wasn't?
Yeah.
When you are, you're
Mhm.
gaslighting him in so many
Right.
ways. He thinks you're his girlfriend. Like,
Oh my god, poor Mark.
uh, we saw Paula a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, we saw Elaine too when Cole was like packing to leave town with Caitlin.
Oh my god, that I have a line from that, that was so funny. She's like, "I" oh, no, she's like, "I know my son," and I'm like, "You've known him for 9 months." Like,
Yes, I thought that too. When she said that, I was like, you just met him, honestly. Like, do you know him?
you really don't know him, like, I don't it's so funny.
You know this memory of a baby. Like, you don't know him.
Exactly.
um, that was pretty much it with that story, right? It was just the lie detector test, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Um, who else am I missing? I think that was everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was everybody.
Mhm.
Unless do you have something?
I have a few things, but, like,
Go ahead.
just to piggyback on what you're saying, I thought it was so funny when Vanessa was using, like, a blanket to try to pick up the flame. She's making it worse. I'm like, stop, girl. What are you doing?
Yeah.
That's why it worse. Like,
Also, they got out of the room where the fire was, and then they're in the living room. I'm like, get out of the building with the fire.
right.
Why are you like,
Like,
getting
stop.
smoke inhalation?
And then Michael's like, find a fire hydrant. I'm like, well, why didn't you think of that before? It's just so funny. It's like it kind of like reminded me of the Passions thing where we're on the boat and they're trying to get out and they like, go up the stairs.
Yes.
Get a fire hydrant. Put
Right.
the fire out. Stop making it worse.
That's James E. Riley. He's definitely influenced this.
Yes. So I have a great bet line. You must have been a general in a former life because you're so good at giving orders. Bet said that.
Yes.
So funny. Also, Annie did the whatever from Clueless to Meg. That was really funny.
Yes, it made me when she did that. It made me think of Amber from Clueless because she also is a redhead.
Yes, it was really funny. Also, Tim's new haircut. He looked really good.
He did, and I'm still like shipping him and Annie. So he's back in Sunset Beach. He actually came back.
Yes. So Annie called him initially, and he was still in Kansas, and then he decided to come back and get his old job back with Gregory, which he still hasn't gotten back yet. But
yeah, and magically, as she's thinking about him and she's like circling his name, she has a knock at the door, and it's him. I'm like,
right, of course.
But she basically friend zones him, but she's also like not denying that there's something between them, and she's like, let's just take it slow, really slow. And I'm like, how much slower can we go?
Well, I think her focus has changed with this codicil now, so she's got to work on that. And Tim's going to be on the back burner. She's not. Yeah, unfortunately, they have history.
I guess we could talk about like the romantic stuff between Meg and Ben.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like she's like at the Java Web, and he has like a bunch of like flowers delivered to her, and that's when Tim shows up to kind of apologize and talk to her with like sunflowers, but he's like, I should have brought my own vase because like it's like flowers everywhere. Ben sets up like a gondola ride so they can pretend like they're in Venice.
Yeah, their favorite city in the world.
And I guess he buys her a car. Like, is that for her? He bought her a Porsche, like a red Porsche, right?
He bought her a red convertible, like the one that her mom wanted to. In the first episode, her mom wanted to ride through Paris in the red convertible.
So, but the one she stole to get to the airport, was that Tim's car?
Probably the one. I think she stole Tim's car. Yeah.
Yeah, which was also a red convertible. So, and then she has her own. So there you go. Yeah, they're just being really cute and romantic and smiling, so that's nice. I just love how Meg is not naive when it comes to Annie anymore. The minute she sees her, her eyes like pierce and she's like ready to fight her. She's done with the bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was honestly the Annie and Meg thing. When she called her Maria, I was like, "Oh, you're gonna die." She's gonna kick her.
She looks pissed.
I laughed when Meg said to Ben that he remembered the whole convertible in Paris thing. He said it must be a side effect of love or whatever. I was like, "Oh, you remember that, but you can't remember that you call her Maria." But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have. What about you?
I have a couple more things.
Okay.
I thought it was so. I don't know why Gregory would leave like a file about Tiffany in his office. Like I thought, like that's for Sean to find. Like that's ridiculous. Why was there evidence lying around that he paid her off?
When they were like hiding from Cole in his own house, by the way.
Yeah.
And he had like a secret room, like the library thing, and he's like, I knew that secret door would come in handy one day. And Sean had a line that was like, yeah, I guess it pays to be paranoid.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'm liking Sean more and more. Also, Randy Spelling looks like he's been working out. He looks more like bulkier.
Oh, really? I didn't notice.
Yeah, his arms look bigger. I was like,
yeah. Oh, also when we were talking about Cole and Gregory's makeup match when they had to fight, like all of a sudden, like both their faces healed magically, and it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like you wiped the bar and they were just.
And it was the same day. I'm like, I guess the ice cured them.
I know when Annie like wiped the blood away or whatever, I was like, oh, maybe he'll just bruise or something.
Right. It was really funny. But yeah, it was, really fun episodes. Can't wait to watch more.
It's like candy almost. It's like you just have to watch the next one. Like
Yeah,
I can't even imagine having to wait 24 hours for like the next episode.
I know.
Or even the weekends. Like, God, I can't wait for Monday.
Mhm.
But I'm excited because we're gonna get into sweeps month. Our very first, well, it's not our very first, but our first November sweeps.
Mhm.
And now the show is already like amped up a little bit, so that's exciting.
Mhm.
Um, anything else before we go?
I don't think so.
All right, well, we're gonna head over to Patreon and we're gonna watch the next 2 episodes because apparently some big stuff's gonna happen. So if you haven't already, head on over to patreon.com/queers and soaps and subscribe for $3 and you could watch the next 2 episodes along with us. And as always, you can find us on all the other socials at Queers and Soaps. And until next time, have a great day.
Good
Bye.
night.